It can appear a bit of an anomaly why it is that atheists don't do better against apologists in religious debates, especially given the lack of hard evidence for any deities. In this video we'll discuss why this is the case, and how atheists can shift the paradigm to consistently win these debates in a more effective and efficient way. Contrary to what many atheists think, atheists actually go into the God debate at a huge disadvantage. That's because the atheist is trying to prove, at least according to religious people that is, that no God exists. Of course, many atheists might counter with, No, that's not what an atheist is. What an atheist is just somebody who has not found any good reason to believe in any specific God. But usually, by then the damage is done. The apologist typically moves the debate onto a generic God, which the atheist finds more difficult to argue against. The apologist will likely go into philosophical discussions regarding the nature of reality, the creation of the universe, and quite often, morality. And of course, another favorite, evolution, or rather intelligent design. This is of course a deliberate ploy, because the apologist knows very well that it is very difficult to defend a specific deity. In fact, it is by invoking the generic God that the apologist moves the debate into the realm of the unknown, and to their advantage. Let me explain. The fact is that we do not know for sure how the universe formed. We don't know if it existed eternally, or if it had a beginning. We do not understand subatomic physics very well. One of the world's greatest ever physicists, Richard Feynman, once said, "If you think you understand quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics." Currently, the idea of the Big Bang theory of creation is in vogue, but physicists have multiple hypotheses, and the consensus seems to be slowly shifting over time. There are many concepts, like dark matter, dark energy, and so forth, which are not fully understood, and often difficult to explain to the layman. Things don't stay static in the world of theoretical physics for very long. And this area of philosophy, concerning the creation of the universe, is the apologist's backyard. This is their home turf. Because this is the area where not having a definitive answer conveniently allows the apologist to slot in a god. Apologists will pick on phrases like, "The universe came out of nothing," which are distortions, misrepresentations, of the actual quotations made by scientists, and use that to mock atheism. One of the most common apologist retorts in a debate is, "It's not as stupid as saying something came out of nothing." What we have to remember is that apologists rarely, if ever, debate in good faith. They are continually trying to move the debate onto areas where there is uncertainty, where they can conveniently slot their God of the gaps into the unknowns. It's important at this stage to take a step back and reflect on what atheists are attacking or defending, and what it is that the apologist is attacking or defending. Unsurprisingly, what we find here is that the apologist is not defending their position on their own specific God. They are essentially attacking any areas of uncertainty where the atheist is on shaky ground, relatively speaking. Namely the creation of the universe, evolution, morality, etc. The first thing an atheist must realize is that they cannot win a defensive argument, because given the uncertainty, the coin flip will always land heads. That is, in favor of the apologist. My advice is to use a disarming technique. We have to start by admitting that we don't know things that we don't know 100%. We have to stop defending the areas of science where there is even the slightest doubt, and even if we know for sure that evolution is true, it is hard to debate it, because anybody can question anything. So if atheists are challenged on evolution, morality, or the creation of the universe, whatever, then my advice is to adopt an attacking strategy. A very, very aggressive strategy that shifts the debate and the burden of proof back onto the apologist. The way to do this is by kicking the apologist's belief system in the balls where it hurts. A forceful kick to the ghoulies of their belief system, avoiding the arguments that they are making, the proverbial go for the jugular, so to speak. And that means challenging their actual beliefs and casting doubt on the veracity of their specific belief system and gods. The best way I've found to do this is to propose that the gods are man-made, as this is a huge defeater for their position. Now, we can't prove anything 100%. but we can make the claim that their belief system looks man-made beyond reasonable doubt, especially if we have good evidence and argument to back up our claims. I'll be spending a lot of time on my channel discussing such evidence and arguments. The key is to remember we can't prove anything to 100%, but we can use the law of probabilities to our advantage. That is the trick. Acknowledge what we don't know, and even grant or concede to our opponent's position on things like morality, evolution, creation, etc., but simultaneously go on the offensive by claiming that the opponent's belief system is false. It is false because it's man-made. Of course, our job is to gather and articulate evidence and arguments in favor of that position. Here's an example of how to do this. If the subject is intelligent design versus evolution, we could start with saying something like this. Even if intelligent design is true, the Christian, or Muslim, or Jewish belief system is false. We can see beyond reasonable doubt that it is man-made. Now, let's for a moment think about all of the supernatural claims of all the different religions combined. Is it possible that in all of these cases the witnesses were hallucinating, or were somehow misled, or mistaken? Or is it more likely the case, based on probability, that the supernatural claims are from stories that were made up by people? People who wanted to push a certain agenda. To gain control of the masses, power, money, sex, etc. This is something everybody can relate to, as it refers to the human experience and the human psyche. So if an apologist insists, no, my belief system is the true one, then the atheist can simply point to all the other religions that the apologist does not believe in, and propose that these other religions were made up by people to promote a certain agenda. Then they can follow up by stating that there is no exceptionalism or special pleading allowed, and thus, the apologist's religion is exactly the same as all the others. Man-made. At this stage, the atheist gives all the evidence and arguments in favor of the man-made nature of the apologist's belief system. We can do this with any of the subjects that the apologist brings up. For example, morality. Even if we think morality is a social construct, we can still make the argument as follows. Okay, well, morality may have been instituted by a god, but it's not your god. Your religion is totally false, it's man-made. And I can show you how. The apologist is then left struggling to respond. The fact is, an apologist only cares about evolution, the creation of the universe, or morality, as long as it was their god that done it. They don't care about any of these things if it wasn't their god. They're just not interested. I found in practice this technique works very well for me. To conclude then, let's just reflect on the main learnings from this discourse. 1. An apologist rarely, if ever, debates in good faith. 2. An apologist has a belief system, but he's not defending that. The apologist is attacking scientific and philosophical areas, like the origin of the universe, morality, or evolution. 3. Uncertainty and doubt are typically the friend of the apologist, when the subject is philosophy or science. An atheist must shift the debate to look at uncertainty and doubt, as it relates to the apologist's belief system. And nothing else. 4. Don't be afraid to grant an apologist their position on any scientific or philosophical point. Just focus on their belief system and the potential man-made nature of it. 5. Remember that not a single religious supernatural claim has ever been verified. Question and challenge everything that supports the apologist's belief system. 6. Finally, remember that we are not trying to defend any scientific or philosophical point. We are challenging somebody's belief system. And that is the key message of this video. We hope you found this useful. Please feel free to drop your comments. We look forward to seeing you again in the near future.